this is what I think people need to understand. We have been in a slow moving coup for many, many years within the Islamic Republic ever since Ali Khamenei became the supreme leader. It was always inevitable, and this is something that have been saying for multiple years now, that IRGC will take over the supreme leader. Like this, we have right now the supreme leadership and the IRGC as the main sources of power within the Islamic Republic, and it used to be that the supreme leadership was above IRGC. Then during Khamenei's time, they became more equal, and eventually, obviously, the IRGC, one way or another, would have taken over. I mean, if the IRGC has most of the economy and all the guns, the supreme leadership doesn't have any gun, doesn't have any military. They have devotion. They have the people power. They have the influence over the hearts and minds of the pro-regime Iranian people. That's what they have. Okay, they have fifis. They have feelings. The IRGC has guns and money. The supreme leadership has the feelings of the pro-regime people, right? So we know that eventually IRGC will take over completely, especially once there's a change in the supreme leadership, because whatever love people had for the second supreme leader, the third supreme leader would not enjoy the same amount of love, and we know this because the second supreme leader didn't enjoy as much as the first supreme leader enjoyed. So we always know that the switch will make the love and admiration and devotion less every time we switch a supreme leader. Uh, but now, so we know this is going to happen, but because of the operation Epic Fury and also the humiliation that the Islamic Republic is going through not being able to enforce hijab, through not being able to answer very aggressively to the Israelis, and now having the supreme leader killed and not being having a meaningful response to that, this um, coup has become faster. And now, if the Islamic Republic signs such a humiliating deal, this would even become even faster. So this coup is something that I refer I have been referring to as the boots versus the turbans. The boots will eventually win against the turbans, right? The IRGC versus the supreme leader. So we know this is happening, and the office of the supreme leadership, the Beit Rahbari within the Islamic Republic, obviously they see that happening as well, and they have been trying to defend themselves against the full IRGC takeover, but obviously this is something that would have been inevitable. So here's what's happening right now. I think that Vahidi is hiding not just from the Americans, but also from Ghalibaf and the supreme leader, because I think Vahidi knows that Ghalibaf and the supreme leader know that Vahidi could kill Ghalibaf and the supreme leader and say it was the Zionists, blame it on the Israelis, right? Given that the Israelis are basically killing people left and right, would have been doing that for within the Islamic Republic. It's easy to just kill these days to just kill the new supreme leader and be like, oh no, so sad. The Israelis killed the third supreme leader. It's easy to do that. But now, so here's the thing: if you're just so God, Vahidi knows that the Mojtaba and Ghalibaf don't have any military force to defend them against such an attack by Vahidi, by IRGC. So if you are from Vahidi's perspective, what Ghalibaf or the Mojtaba could do is basically sell out Vahidi to the Americans. So Vahidi, in my opinion, is keeping his whereabouts secret from the supreme leadership and Ghalibaf as well, because from their understanding, if any of these people know where Vahidi is, they will tell the Americans, and the Americans will take them out. From their perspective, Ghalibaf is telling the Americans that I could be more flexible to you, but this is the obstacle are these people within the IRGC. So take them out for me. I will give you the information on how to take them out. And the reason why Ghalibaf would do that is because Ghalibaf and Mojtaba, which are now aligned, they know they don't want war. They pretend that they want war, but they don't want war because they're terrified. They know if war starts again, they will probably die. The Israelis will kill them, and they don't want to die. right? So they are, I think Ghalibaf and Mojtaba Khamenei are desperate for a deal because they are terrified of dying. Unlike what they say, they're terrified of dying. And they're telling the Americans they want to basically kill two birds with one stone by telling the Americans that it's the Vahidi and others that are the obstacle in the way, kill them for us. They will take the IRGC, like they will weaken, they will use the American military because they themselves don't have a military. They will be using the American military against the IRGC. Okay, so that's what the military power that they have, and at the same time they will be able to get a deal so that the Americans, so these people, the Ghalibaf Mushtaba camp, are afraid of both Americans and Vahidi. So by getting the Americans to kill Vahidi, they would, or take out the IRGC obstacle from the path, they will satisfy the Americans to do a deal instead of killing them, and they will also kill the people who might kill them because they want to remove the IRG, the supreme leadership out of their way. The thing is that this is, if you look at it from game theory, this might be like the Vahidi might think like this could be true or could not be true. But because it could be true, why risk it? I should kill these people just in case it's true. And from Mushtaba and Ghalibaf's perspective, this could be true or could not be true. But why risk it? We should take them out instead of waiting around and seeing if they will take us out. So both sides have an incentive to eliminate the other side instead of waiting around and seeing whether or not this is true. So that's why I think it's happening, and that's why I think that the Mushtaba Ghalibaf camp are not retarded. Like the Paidari camp is coming out and saying that you guys are moving into a trap. Why would you give the Americans the enriched uranium? Obviously, after they do that, they will have the upper hand, and you're giving to them something. They're taking away something with negotiations, um, something that they couldn't have take that they didn't weren't able to take away from you with war. This is lunacy. This is idiocy. But from I think from the perspective of Mushtaba and Ghalibaf, they don't have any choice. They have no choice because if they go to war, they will die. At least this path gives them a chance for survival. And then from the Iranian perspective, from our perspective, um, we don't mind the Americans working with Ghalibaf and Mushtaba against IRGC, in my opinion, if this is true. Because at the end of the day, the obstacle in our way for an uprising, for taking over, is IRGC, not Ghalibaf and the supreme leadership. If the IRGC obstacle is removed from our path, the Iranian people have, it's easy for the Iranian people to deal with Ghalibaf and the supreme leadership. So that's why I think I don't mind Americans using Ghalibaf and Mushtaba to work against IRGC. So that's what I'm seeing happening. And Sketch, I love, it's working. Can you speak? That's fantastic. Can you speak? Let me see if it's working. We finally have camera footage from Sketch as a grease monkey.
I can't speak.
There you
Yeah,
go. It's
Sketch
working.
is actually Sketch is next to respond too. So go ahead.
Okay, there you go. Fantastic. Guys, look, Sketch has turning into a VTuber, and now he has. You tell us, Sketch, what is this before you respond?
Well, this is like the first step. It's called a PNG tuber. I can do some layering, some bouncing of different layers, like the face layer, have the eyes open and closed. This is a very basic two-layer effect. I do have more layers, but programming it to work correctly takes a little bit of time. And eventually it would be like you guys had a guest, Lord Nux. I would be trying to do something like that where it does the full face tracking, and it matches my face movement, my eyes closing, where my head moves, my lip movements, and all that kind of thing.
Okay, fantastic. By the way, I have some Iranians who want to join our fight, but they don't want to show their faces. So I'll talk to you later if you want to give me any tips to give them because they want to do the same thing and come on YouTube and be active. So I'll talk to you about that. But let's focus on this topic right now before we. But good job. This is fantastic. Great progress.
All right. If I was going to talk on this, I'd have two basic questions. Number one, are they talking about 60 days to sign a final deal, or are they talking 60 days and we're still talking about an MOU and an MOU has not been signed? Right? That's very important.
Yep. So the President Trump is saying the MOU will be signed tomorrow. The Islamic Republic
Okay.
is saying nah. So the understanding right now, at least, is if President Trump, again, we don't know if President Trump is playing mind games or this is going to happen. But as of right now, what President Trump is hinting at is that we will have an MOU tomorrow, and then we have 60 days after the MOU is signed to get to a deal.
During the during the MOU, that's not a deal, right? So during the MOU 60-day period, they get nothing and they have to abide by the rules of the MOU, right?
So this is actually a very good question. We don't know if the 60-day period is going to be used for the Islamic Republic to show progress before a deal is signed, or what the Islamic Republic has to demonstrate starts after the 60-day. My assumption is that nothing is going to be released to the Islamic Republic unless they show their show that they're making progress. And I think that some of that needs to, maybe I think some of that needs to be done during the 60-day period before you even get to a deal.
I would think so too. Like, why would I agree? Like, why do we need that 60 days? The 60 days is to see that you're abiding by what you agreed to in this memorandum of understanding. What are you understanding? You're
Right.
understanding that you can't block the straits. You're understanding that there's a lot of understanding that has to go on. And the way they keep saying one thing behind closed doors, but launching missiles, I don't think that MOU would last at all. That's number one. Number two, we have 160, I think it was, probably a little less now, tankers in the Strait. That's about 15 million metric tons of oil. If you start boom booms and you send a saturation attack on those, your desalination plants are not going to be able to deal with that because the Persian Gulf is a very shallow body of water, right? So this is a incredible danger and a reason why you would not want to have them go to do or die. I'm taking as many as I can with me mode, because that would be detrimental to all the Gulf countries. This whole time that we're done, we're going to make a deal, we're not going to make a deal, we've been secretly getting those tankers out, because that is the real threat to all the Gulf countries. They might not be able to nuke them, they not be able to hit them hard with a whole bunch of shaheds, but if they are able to do a saturation attack where those tankers can't be defended, that you would destroy desalination in that area. So to like the 60 days, I don't know. I'll just see it as time needed to get all these ships out. One of the priorities has been getting ships out. I doubt that any ships are going in, because who's going to insure that? Is there any insurance company that's not going to work? There's no oil going in. There's oil coming out. So and besides that, I don't see a way that this deal moves through those 60 days. Like, what are the 60 days for? If it's a deal now, if it's a deal tomorrow, what's the 60 days about? It's because the deal is not now. It's the deal in 60 days. And what we need is those 60 days to prepare the Gulf of the Persian
Persian Gulf.
Gulf for the Persian Gulf for this type of situation. And one of the principal things you need to do is get those 15 million metric tons of oil out.
Yep. Yeah, maybe. True.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.